that I could ever ask for. Best start that Sentinels could ask for, getting a kill right at the start there. The planted. And now tall task for the Lemonade Stand to try and push this here against Sentinels. Root over by Elbow. Might actually get 2 out of this one, but Shazam and Sick working together in tandem to take down Root. Some change-ups in the composition as well for this team. They are going to opt to bring out the Omen, whereas we did not see that in the last game. Dapper, a clean double. Secure Sentinels win. So yeah, composition-wise, there's no real shockers here for Sentinels, but let's kind of dive into what we could potentially see here for Lemonade Stand. Eyes will be on Brock. He's going to be playing Jet for this team, and Brock does play the Jet on Bind as well for Lemonade Stand. So there is some consistency here as far as particular agent choice for him. As we take a look at the final plays here of that moment. And I think that just the way Sentinels always are fragging around for each other is just so, it's awesome, Dan. But anyway, yeah, let's break down what we should from Lemonade Stand here.
I mean, also worth noting that they're playing a Viper as well. You can see Cavan on the Viper, so see what he has to offer. Defensively, a lot one-way capabilities, cutting off sights as well. Offensively, we saw when Tens tried it out at the PAX Invitational. We'll see whether maybe we'll see something similar from Cavan here, but first of all they need to focus on their defense, and at the moment they're just being run through here in A heaven, but Brook is able to get one there, and actually Root follows up, so okay, this has worked out quite well for Lemonade Stand.
Well, it worked out for them on the A side. Unfortunately for them, though, they will have to focus on retaking this B side. So a lot of damage was certainly going to be done to open up the map to allow Sentinels to get into the B site. Now, Cavern on the flank with this host gets a pick, and the complexion of this round changes quite a bit. Needs to wait for his teammates there. So Cavern did get the pick, so it was good for 2, as a matter of fact. Now it comes down to a 1v1, Shazam versus Cavern, but Shazam had that Bulldog locked and loaded, ready to go, and takes out Cavern despite the best efforts.
So because Sentinels had a very aggressive pistol round where they all pushed A, they decided to send 2 players to A again to try and force the quick rotate out of Lemonade Stand, and Lemonade Stand will be like, oh, okay, they're going A again. But no, it was a fake, and they've managed to split across the map, and they have gone to B site instead. Very successful. Sentinels, they're just not taking any prisoners at the moment, going very fast-paced. I wonder whether this will change as they get into the more solid rounds where they will have rifles. For this round with 2 Bulldogs, we might see something quick again, though. You can see they're stacking towards A here, and it is going to be a 5 versus 2 if they are quick about this.
They can go into this one mighty fast. So Cavern locks down mid. No one's going to be in there. But at the very least, they'll have that thing covered, at least for the time being. But all this attention is being focused on the A side, Dan.
Never liked the mid-control approach with a Viper on split with the ult. I just think it's a massive waste. I would rather see it on the A or B site, and players can disagree with me, and they probably have a better idea of what they feel comfortable with, but I just feel like locking down mid is unnecessary when you know that they've been pushing A so comfortably. Either way, mid is his, and that's all that matters right now, and actually could play into their hands because Sentinels have backed off from the A site after the early rotate. It does mean they have to get forced through a chokehold. That is what the Viper ultimate does here. It forces you either through A, where you're going to have to push through several rifles with a crossfire, or you have to go through B garage, which is one of the most difficult places to push out of. Or Sentinels can be very clever and just actually go through middle here, go into the gas and try and take this fight. It looks like they don't fancy it. With 30 seconds left, they're going to head towards A.
Seems like that gamble worked, and also a shout out to Cavern for getting the Viper Spit so early in this one. Now here comes the push. Root is going to send out that, I believe it was just like one of those paranoias that did not actually get a connection where he would have wanted it. Zoms ends up getting the kill. Justin Nova though around the corner against Zoms, but while all that's going on, look out, here comes Cavern, and Cavern was looking over at the right side because you will often see players lurking on that right side, but it was going to be over toward the choke. Sick with the final kill, so that is basically going to be a very quick 15 seconds there for Sentinels. They had to make that decision. Okay, we're not going to be able to take this mid because the Viper Spit is activated, so let's just go ahead and move around over toward A. They got him there quickly, and they got themselves a 3rd round win.
I guess you could argue that using Viper's Pit in middle is basically trying to control B and saying, actually, it's going to be very difficult for you to push B site here, especially if there's going to be a Cypher that you're going to be pushing into traps. So it almost is forcing teams towards A. But I feel like against Sentinels, they're going to be comfortable no matter where they're pushing. It's going to be a weak buy on the side of Lemonade Stand now. Judge in the hand for Justin Over. And he's going to be trying to play close on A, but unfortunately for him, they are not going to be playing ball, our Sentinels. They're straight onto the A site, and now we're going to see the spike rotating a little bit later. I do like that Sentinels aren't necessarily consistently 5-man pushing A. Instead, they're sending 2 there to see if they can carry on getting onto the site. Once they're on the site, they then bring the spike over.
So they can't get into heaven right now because Rossi's going to be playing at the back of the ramps, and Sick will encounter in a little bit. Sinatra, though, oh man, I thought Brock was going to get out of that one, but ended up dashing right into the wall. So couldn't actually bail from that. Justinova flies on in. Now gets the Phantom, but Sick is there to back his teammate up. Now Rossi just going to have to be able to fight the 4 players of Sentinels with a shorty. That is not going to happen. And Sentinels will secure their 4th round win there. I got to give Justin Over credit for flying in and trying to make a play happen. And then getting into that A site, looking to just prevent them from getting in. But while all that was going on, it just was Sentinels connection after connection.
Well, a lot of responsibility for Brock here is going to be picking up the op now with just half armor as well. This is where you can often see teams turn the tide when you get to this buy round where you can actually purchase an op. But Shazam also going to have the op in hand. So this is going to be a little bit of an early battle. See who can get that first pick. Camera is going to give a little bit of info there from Cypher. And again, A is being swarmed ever so slightly just to see if they can ease their way in more comfortably. But it's been stacked by Lemonade Stand. They've got 3 players there this time saying, look, we're tired of giving you A. So instead, we're going to send multiple players here to ensure that it's not that comfortable. And with the Viper Wall in middle, it means you can get somewhat amount of presence and maybe you can scare off people. But it is going to be mid-control now for Sentinels. And we're going to see a big old rocket fuse here. Unfortunately, though, nothing comes of it. And we've seen that happen quite a lot today, Alex, where, I mean, already after 2 games, we're in the 2nd game, where that Raze ultimate is not really working out. And maybe it is just that fuse time that's changed. The fact it takes a little bit longer to get out, you're not going to be killed straight away. You do have a little bit more time to get away. Yeah,
it even happened right there because old Raze would have actually ended up getting that kill. Player wouldn't have been able to get out in time. And I think it was Brock that was going to be on top of the catwalk there. Okay, so then they look over toward B. They don't really like what they're seeing so far. Watch out for Justin Nova, though, because he's going to be meeting all these players right outside. Could actually end up getting 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, gets 2 for that one, but the job certainly has been done. Now Root on the outside. Sinatra was going to be low. Spike is down. Shazam right there to help out. But only 1 player left alive, and it is going to be Dapper. They're hearing him right up through the ropes. So Justin Nova, great position there for Justin to stop that push from happening. They had to make a quick call to go through ropes into heaven and fly over to the B side. Or to the A side, apologies. Didn't end up happening because Justin met him right there.
Yeah, Lemonade Stand doing well to recognize the A pressure from Sentinels there, and I think that was unfortunate for Sinatra with the showstopper coming out. If he had connected with that and got the first frag, they probably would have followed up and gone B heaven. But because they didn't get it, and they forced that 1 player back onto B, they were a little bit unsure of where players could be residing, so they didn't feel confident. They went back to their comfort zone of A, but little do they know, Lemonade Stand had already stacked it earlier, and they were there, and they were waiting as Brock can't get the first here, but neither can Shazam. So we see 2 missed op shots to start the round.
Oh, we're going to have an off too. Actually ended up getting 1. Sinatra, I should say, died to the showstopper there. So the rival Raze did manage to get the better there with the ultimate. Root trying to bait out with this teleport. Cavern blocking vision with this Viper wall. Brock, unfortunately for him, will get caught off. And now Zam's got some intel as to where they're going to be located. The backfield. There goes Cavern, though. Trying to keep this game alive for his team. Root now. Sick. Read that one like an open book. Turn the page, and the page says that they're going to be able to march on to the site and plant with ease.
I mean, he even licked his finger first. That's how comfortable it was for Sick.
He's
just one of these players. Like,
he put the bookmark on the coffee table. It was just amazing.
And he like tilted his glasses down towards his nose ever so slightly.
Now we know.
I mean, he's
how
one
you
of these
read.
players
Good.
that you don't mind being on the Sage because he will get onto site first. He doesn't care. He's that confident in his aim. And we're seeing more and more of that now across competitive Valorant, where these Sages are getting aggressive because they do have the ability to heal themselves up if they're weak. They're not just about healing their teammates. Instead, they can kind of play a little bit for themselves.
I think that was one of the reasons why Tens was great on Sage when he was playing that role for C9. Obviously, you want him on those high impact agents, right? That he could really flex his muscles on, Raze, Jet. But when he played Sage, he had a very aggro way that he approached it because he had the heal, so he can ensure that he's going to be healthy. It's all about how you play your agent. That's it. Every single player has a unique style of how they approach this game, which has been fun to watch event after event. These guys are only going to continue to get better. Same thing for Lemonade Stand, too. I mean, I know that it's 5-1 right now. Lemonade Stand struggling a little bit, but there's a lot of positives, I think, for Lemonade Stand to take away from this one. A lot of lessons learned, a VOD that they can go back and dissect over and over and to see how they react to the pushes that come through, maybe the overinvestment a few times that had occurred. I always look at the positives here, especially for a team that's up and coming like them.
Sometimes it just comes down to raw aim and experience as well, and they just need to kind of take this one on the chin and say, look, they're the better team right now, but what can we learn from it, and what can we then implement later when we play the rest of this
and they
group,
realistically
maybe we
can't
can
beat
find
them.
a result. Yeah,
you know, hey man, anything's possible, right? You say it all the time, Dan. You said it in the beginning of the broadcast. The possibilities are endless.
Endless.
Endless. So I will not count out Lemonade Stand quite yet. Will it be difficult? Yes, it will be very challenging, and they know that as well. That's why they're going to give it the good old-fashioned college try. Now,
that's an American reference that I'm not really, really sure.
Or the university try? Is it
okay,
the
yeah, that
university
works.
try?
Yeah,
you know,
I'm good with that. I was going to bring up at some point that Lemonade is very different in England than it is in America as well. It's very fizzy here, not fizzy over there.
No, not at all.
This,
They don't
this
sell
hasn't
for
been a fizzy
too.
performance right now. I'm going to be completely honest, but Justinova may be injecting some bubbles into this now.
Oh, like that one. Root is going to get blinded by the paranoia and picked off on the right side. That's Sick once again going onto the site, knowing that they had that paranoia, the confidence. Zoms lands those so often. It has to be frustrating to play against. Spike is down now, and typically on split, defense is going to be favored because of the map and what you have to do to try and accomplish the task of taking over the sites. But this is one of the reasons why this team is at a 100% win rate on split, 10-0 right now. Their biggest win, by the way, was against Envy 13-3. So keep that in mind as you continue to watch this game. They are on fire right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you can do that against Envy, of all teams, a team that has so much credibility and so much potential in them already, then a team like Lemonade Stand, who have come through the qualifiers and aren't as well established, like, you can understand why Sentinels should be comfortably taking this one. You can see that we've got another stack over towards A with 3 players to try and counteract this push from A, and it's going to be 2 frags. Broken Justinova getting aggressive and doing work, but Sinatra maybe can do some damage of his own. We'll find 2, but not the 3rd, so they do have the man advantage.
Last 2 players are going to be located over on mid. I like the idea and what they went with there. It was a kind of shades of what Sentinels did to them on Ascent. Passive approach, and then boom. They turn on the switch, flick it on, and they're going to be right in their face. Zoms now has to keep his head on a swivel here, as Brock will be located up on the high ground.
Brock waiting here, though. That's the right thing to do.
Yeah, he had to wait for Root to get to him so that they can work this together. I don't know if you saw both of them. He did manage to save the paranoia. And while it did end up catching the Jet, Root was there. They knew where he was going to be. His options were extremely limited, and that is a round win for the Lemonade Stand. A big round win because they were getting bopped around a little bit, Gaskin. So a thrifty win will give them some resources for this next round.
Yeah, it was something they were able to do as well on Ascent. Just kind of catch Sentinels off guard with a thrifty round. Just match the aggression with some aggression of their own. Just pushing up A and utilizing Jets. Oh, and of course, getting up in the face with the Judge is always going to be kind of easy kills if the players you're pushing are distracted looking towards Jet. So they've done really well there. I'm glad because I want to see Lemonade Stand pick up a few rounds here just so we can see what they have to offer on attack on split. And it's not just going to be kind of a whitewash. I want to see what they do with the Viper. I feel a little bit sad for Rossi on the Cypher here because it seems like he's been playing retake round and round again, but right between the eyes goes the bullet, and that's a great way to start this round.
So they're going to do the same thing again. This seems to be their Viper's Pit play. Get control of mid, play it, and wait. Prevent them from being able to rotate. It almost worked last time, but I think that Cavern was playing so far back. Now they should be able to get this kill. So he did see one, two. Oh no! That is unfortunate. Cavern, he actually had Sinatra right in his sights, but it ended up being that Dapper popped up from behind him. It was like a horror movie, and Dapper was Freddy Krueger. So in his dreams, in the dream state, ended up getting the kill. That is certainly going to sting for them. Now they're going to have to go to plan B here. Sinatra's going to be rather weak. Paranoia does come out. Root will get control up top. Watch out, though. That cyber cage is going to come down in a second here. But Root with a double kill. That's going to be 2 in a row now for the defenders. Working out quite nicely here for the Lemonade stand.
Really nicely coordinated push in middles for Sentinels, though. Like, all 3 of them pushing into the smoke at exactly the same time made things very difficult for the Viper. I think it works better, that play, the Viper's Pit in middle, when you have an op on one of the sites. It wasn't there in the earlier rounds, but when you've got Brook holding down B site this successfully, then I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the Viper's Pit in middle, and then it worked so well here in heaven. Root just syncing up perfectly with the cyber cages to protect him there. And yeah, 3 rounds on board for Lemonade stand, and they're gonna have money to work with now. But Shazam gets his revenge on Brook. He said, "You ain't gonna face me twice and get away with it, sunshine." And he gets the double onto Rossi.
Shazam's revenge. It's like the sequel to the upcoming DC film. Black Adam won't be there, though. Sick is going to block him off. So Root can't get involved. Justinova might be able to fly in, but no! Does not get the kill. Does not be able to top off with the showstopper. That has to hurt to watch if you are a Rays main. It just hurts in general because he had at least one of them in his sights. He just couldn't get that rocket off in time. They managed to hold that retake off. But well done by Lemonade Stand at the very least, right? To be able to get 3 rounds here.
Yeah, I think if they can get this to 5, then they would see that as an accomplishment, really. But maybe now we've got this op battle, we're going to see where both of them go. Brook and Shazam definitely want to have a piece of each other here, and it's quite funny that they've peeked each other at the right place at the right time both times. Are we going to see a peek here in our A? It's a good prediction from Brook.
Oh no.
But the showstopper comes out and again doesn't connect, but he's done enough there to get the damage.
Brock was waiting from the behind there. Omen teleport back there, but now you're going to have Brock on site. Sick was right at the perfect place to punish him, leaving only Cavern. Viper with 58 HP, blocked off, smokes everywhere, options very limited. Cavern knows exactly where they're going to be too. The issue is being able to get onto the site. I think at this point, maybe I want to try and hold on to this weapon, get a kill. Anything, any kind of value you can get out of this would be wonderful, but it is Zoms. Inside of heaven will end the hopes of Lemonade Stand.
Kind of would have liked him just save that weapon there, really. Then we could have seen another rifle in the hands of Lemonade Stand going into this last round, but alas, we're at 8-3. Sentinels on their attacking half, looking like the Sentinels that we knew could potentially be here on split. And if they were to then pick up the pistol in this second half, then things are not looking good for Lemonade Stand. They don't have the op to work with now, so we're not going to see any aggressive peeks from Brook, which means that Shazam has free reign to take the first peek here in mid.
Some updates as well for you guys. Gen G and Built by Gamers game 1 ended 13-7, but Gen G coming out on top. We're currently going to be in the middle of game 2 for them, just as we are in game 2 right now. Gen G is up 4-1 against Built by Gamers. More updates on that. There's also a B stream too. I don't like calling it a B stream, but there is another stream that has some more matches that are currently taking place here. We hope you guys go and enjoy that. Lots of Valorant to watch. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The best teams in North America here. We've been treated to some phenomenal competition across the board. Europe as well as North America. Japan has had some crazy events too. The Rage events have been some of my favorites to watch. So International Valorant certainly going to be alive and well. Now, back to this game here. Justinova could actually be a problem, but no. Zoms waited, knew, had the angle lined up, was prepared, played it very slow, and he takes out Justinova. Sinatra there, a connection onto Root. Brock on the flank. Neural Theft is out. They'll know exactly where he's going to be. And Brock, I appreciate the ambition there to get right into the fight, but it ends up not working out for him there. Rossi, valiant attempt there too, but it's Sick yet again who pops up at the kill feed right at the end, and that is going to be the end of the half. Let's see now if this Lemonade Stand team can pick up the pistol. It will be big for them, but they're in a similar position to what they were in Ascent Gaskin.
Yeah, where if they lose the pistol, then the likelihood is they're probably going to lose this game, and that's always a tough position to be in. But if they can gain the pistol round and pick up a few following, then maybe that can give them a little bit of momentum and just try and keep this money low on Sentinels, because I think it will be bad news if Sentinels get an op in hand. It's suddenly going to be very difficult to push onto either site if you can have Shazam there just ruining your day. But I want to see what Cavern can do on this Viper, attacking-wise. Like, where are your walls going to be? Where's that toxic screen going to go? Are you going to be able to really do damage with your ultimate, if you can even get your ultimate before this game is over? Certainly something we saw from Tens on Viper when he played on this map was pushing onto that A site with the ultimate, but Justinova gets the opener onto Sick, so maybe this is a good start for Lemonade Stand.
Dapper playing aggressive inside of the garage. Sinatra with only a classic. Also has this Boombot too, so can actually play around this one. But that is 2 kills now for Lemonade Stand. This is looking really good for them. Mighty fine for these up-and-coming players to get this pistol round. Maybe turn this into a second win as well, because you know that Sentinels will not be in a healthy state to buy. But there's still going to be 2 members of Sentinels left standing that they're going to have to deal with. Zoms and Shazam. One player waiting right outside. Some warning shots being shared. Cavern with the angle. Rossi from the distance. Headshots through and through. And Lemonade Stand get a win here on the attacking side. Well done.
Yep, this is good. No, it means they should get the second unless we see Sentinels force up, but there's no reason for Sentinels to force up here. They will, I imagine, just go for the eco and try and get some sort of thrifty. Very difficult, but you'll see shorties being bought up. Maybe occasionally a frenzy here or there if you have a little bit more money. Maybe even a ghost if you've got more money than that. But the shorty and maybe Shazam will try and do something. No, instead we're going to see shorties on Sick and Dapper. We'll see whether they can get in the right positions to maybe catch these players off guard. Cavern's lining something up, though. He's just going to toss his bubble towards B site. But it's a firm stack over towards A for Sentinels.
Maybe an attempt to try and lure in some utility on A site and then rotate around toward B. Could actually be a good try because they'll have that bubble there, the Viper bubble, so they will be able to block that preemptively when they get into the site. Here comes the wall, so it actually appears to be a full investment here. Paranoia is going to go out. Sick connects with one, but watch out though. Nades are out. It was all right. Sick will be able to heal himself. Has to be forced out of that position though. Root, a shot onto Sick is going to end that rain around the right side. And Sinatra now, they look like they were going to go right for this, but I would imagine that they're just going to try and back up now. Rossi gets up top here. Well done by Root as well. So Dapper located on Heaven. Rossi is fully aware of this and can actually go for the fight if he wanted to. Let's get a tag there. 3v3. Dapper only has a shorty. Yeah, that's the issue here. They're just getting stalled out completely, and Dapper keeps playing a little ring around the rosy. Watch out for Zomzo. He's going to have the frenzy on the outside. No one's going to be watching that corner there. And he's also going to be popping up behind the screens. Everything's falling apart for Lemonade Stand. Rossi only has a few seconds remaining. Gets 1 kill, but the nade is going to end Rossi and thus giving Sentinels their 10th round win.
Yeah, Sentinels just doing so well at predicting and doing well with the stack over on towards A site, but also sending the Cypher towards B, just in case it was going to be a push over towards B side. But it was the shorty play from Sick that got the opener. But just how aggressively they peaked at the same time. Once they know a little bit of damage had done, they were all just firing shots through this Omen smoke to try and just pick off people. But then Zom's in the right place at the right time. Great crossfire yet again on the site, and great delay tactics throughout the entirety there. Like, the back and forth Dapper was able to provide and just holding on to that shorty as well just made Lemonade Stand so reluctant to push, and they just slowly but surely ran out of time, and they didn't want to retreat and go towards B because of the time that they had already committed over towards that site. And now they've lost a round they really should have been taking, and it means an op is going to be in the hands for Shazam now, so things going from bad to worse here for Lemonade Stand.
The op located on a ramp. Only player on A site, though, will be Rossi. The Cypher for Lemonade Stand. There goes that orb again. That lineup that happened in the last round. I like that because they won't have to worry about investing like a dark cover there. They can put the dark cover in a, towards CT side, right? They can also take advantage of these Cypher cages, try and get onto the site at the cross. Root has a paranoia out and does manage, I think, to land one, but it ain't going to matter all that much. Sick was right at that corner, and he's going to continue to play that corner, and they're just going to have to respect him there. Even though he dies, Sick, yet again, is going to be that star holding those angles, doing the dirty work for Sentinels, and that's the reason why this team just continues to find success, because you have everyone that just play very selfless roles.
Lemonade Stand, they forced up that previous round to try and combat the force from the round before by Sentinels, but because Sentinels had lost enough members, they were able to pick up rifles, which really meant that they had the advantage going into that 15th round. And now for Lemonade Stand, they have the question again, do we force up here and try and rescue this, or do we just play for overtime at this point? I did see an initial buy, but I don't know whether they actually committed to it. Sick gets aggressive down middle, finds the opening frag onto Justin Over, and then here comes the rest of the crew. But Cavan and Rossi have found two of their own. The res comes through. Now he needs to protect that res. That Jet, though, has dashed to the left and done so much damage.
Shazam is going to get called down, but Rossi could not get away in time before the Neuro Theft was activated. Only player left alive will be Cavern. 25 shield, 100 HP. The armor certainly is going to be a little weak here for the shot, but does nail it against Zoms. Now a 1v1 to keep the hopes of Lemonade Stand alive. The spike is right in front of Shazam.
He's got Viper's Pit if he wants to use it here, but okay, he is going to go for it. I mean, at 11-4, probably worth trying something.
You know who you're going up against, too. Oh, man. He was checking all the angles, and even though Viper had the advantage with the outline, Shazam was able to see him through the scope. Match point now for Sentinels. Some other updates as well that I did want to share with folks over by Group D, the group that I think we're all very excited about. As it stands, China Win and FaZe Clan are currently playing in, I want to say Haven. Yes, they're playing in Haven. 11-8 for FaZe Clan. Immortals and 100 Thieves, Dan. 13-1. Immortals win.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, lots to take away from that one. I'm sure Moses will have plenty to discuss when he joins us in a little bit. But this is going to be match point for the Sentinels, Dan, and it is looking all right for them so far. They are going to have players alive. And it is a 5v2, so a site take for B, and this was something that they needed, but is it too little too late?
I mean, yes, if I'm going to be completely honest, and I think we all know the answer is yes, but maybe Shazam could even ruin this round going in favor of Lemonade Stand here.
It's got all his utility too.
Utility and the ult, and a little bit of support. Omen is going to have Paranoia, I think. Paranoia comes out, and that's Shazam's cue to dash onto site, but the knives do not connect. Brook wins out that one. And I can't see Zoms clutching this, so we're going to continue. Lemonade Stand put their 5th on the board, and at least can now build up somewhat of an economy and start to gain a little bit of confidence on their attacking side. 13-1 though. Immortals versus 100 Thieves. I mean, questions were asked about 100 Thieves after PAX, right? And I was hoping those questions would be answered. But losing 13-1...
Well, I guess we are getting. Well, let's, it's only game one, though. It's only
it is, and it might not be their pick.
It was. But
okay.
It was. It was Ascent. Immortal started on the defending side, though. Maybe we take that with a grain of salt. We'll see what comes of this next round. FaZe is currently at match point against China Win as well. Now, back into this action, though, as Sentinels will be at match point here. Dapper and Sinatra in tandem shut down Justin Nova, giving him nothing to work with in Garage. Man down. What do? They won that last round. It's not impossible, but it is quite difficult. And Shazam playing inside of the dark cover. They've invested everything into the B site. The spike is going to be located on the B side of the map. And Shazam's waiting for the opportunity to push up. And I actually think he might do so here. Yes, he does finally take the trip out through the dark cover. 1-2 kills onto Brock and Root. Only player left alive is going to be the Cypher. Rossi, he can't make any noise at all, but he will run into the hands of Shazam as soon as he pops his corner.